What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video we're going to talk about 3 tips that I've got for you guys on how to start your own business and run it from home. How to grow a home-based business, one that allows you to work from anywhere and be really successful running your own business. So before we dive into everything, I just want to remind you guys there's a link, as always, down in the description down below. I highly recommend that you click the link below where it says earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. That is a free training that we put together that goes into the full details. If you have any interest in starting your own business, if you've ever thought, hey, I want to build a business that gives me more freedom over my time, more control, it allows me to spend time with family, go and travel, more financial freedom, then I highly recommend you check out the link down in the description below. That's actually a free training, completely free, no cost to you, where you can register for the training, check it out, and we're going to walk you through step by step exactly how you can earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. This last year has been crazy for it. It's gone insanely well, and we're working with over 400 students now, helping them to build these incredible businesses that have done incredibly well in 2020, are doing incredibly well in 2021, that they're just really strong businesses that provide massive value to their clients, and as a result, you can really quite easily and effectively earn a full-time income from this. And it's a really cool business model because you can earn this income without having to invest money into any buying properties, renting properties, furnished properties, unlike a lot of other businesses where you need to invest a whole bunch of capital to get started, whether it's buying inventory or whatever else, these big upfront costs with your business. Airbnb management is a really cool business because it's a business that you can get into without buying any big capital expenses. So really great time to get started. I highly recommend checking out the link in the description down below and checking out that free training, where we're also going to give you some tools to help you actually get started and bring on your first couple clients. So check that out. Now, let's get started and let's talk about my 3 top tips for starting your own business from home. Things that you want to make sure that you're aware of, that you're taking into consideration. Now, my number 1 top tip is to choose the right business model. Now, this is something that I didn't start thinking about when I was first getting started in entrepreneurship, first getting started with my very first business. I didn't really consider my business model. And a lot of people might be thinking, well, I don't even really know. I'm not entirely clear on what a business model is. And essentially all it is it's the different ways that businesses can operate. There's all kinds of different business models, and it's essentially just the way that your business makes money. Your fundamental equation for how the business makes money. Now, it's really important to pick the right business model to get started. And even more so than the specific product or service you might be offering, you want to make sure that you have a bulletproof business model that allows you to accomplish your goals and isn't going to stand in your way. Some business models are going to make it a lot more prohibitive, a lot more challenging for you to actually reach your goals. And so by just tweaking the business model a bit, not necessarily what you're doing, not your product, not your service, but just by shifting the business model, how the business makes money, you can really make a drastic difference in terms of how easy it can be for you to reach your goals. Now, so for a lot of you guys on this channel, I know a lot of you watching this video, the goal is to build a full-time income and ultimately to have more freedom. You want to be able to travel more. You want to be able to spend more time with your family. You want to be able to have real control over your schedule and not have to report to a boss. And a lot of us want to have more security too. We don't want to have this boss looming over us who can just decide at any one time that our income is suddenly gone, that we're fired, that we no longer have a job, or that we're laid off, whatever that might be. And so you want to make sure that you consider all that stuff in selecting your business model. If you want security, then you don't really want to be going into a business model that has a lot of risk attached to it. If you want a business that allows you to have more freedom over your time, you don't really want a business model that's going to be dependent on your time going into it, actively managing it ongoing on a long-term basis. If you want to have more consistency in your income, you want to have real good steady income, you don't want to pick a business model that has a lot of one-time transactions. You want to ideally pick a business model that has recurring monthly income. These are the things you want to consider when you're starting out. And so that's why on the BNB management side of it, I really love that business model. The thing that I love most about it is that, number one, you can get started without any upfront investment. You're not putting a whole bunch of money at risk, because a lot of us, we start businesses wanting to have more freedom, wanting to have more control, and nothing takes away your freedom more than a big pile of debt because the business went poorly. Trust me, I know, I've been there. I started my own business that I did invest a whole bunch of money into, and it did go belly up, and that left me with a huge pile of debt and feeling less free than I ever had before in my entire life. The reality of that is that now I had to make more money just to be able to get back to a level of zero, and that's not a good place to be in. So you want to be mindful of the business model, and you also want to pick a business model that allows you to actually grow without it detracting from your goals. Because again, if you have to, we've talked about in other videos on the channel, we've talked about, for example, comparing Airbnb management to Amazon FBA, to Shopify drop shipping, that sort of business model. And the challenge with those business models is that you have to invest more money to grow your business, to buy more inventory. With rental arbitrage, we talked about that in other videos. If you want to grow your business and bring on another property, you have to pay first month's rent, last month's rent, and a security deposit, and actually furnish the property. So there's a big capital outlay. And that's going to detract from the lifestyle you want. That's going to detract from the financial freedom component, the reason that you're building this business. So growing your business is at odds with actually achieving what you want in your business. And so that's not a really great business model. So again, not changing the actual service, the fundamental core service that we're offering between rental arbitrage and management fee, we're just changing the business model, and it allows us to have a lot more freedom, a lot more control, a lot more consistency, a lot more security, way less risk. It's just a huge night and day difference between actually running those two businesses. Again, I've run both businesses, and I'm not saying rental arbitrage is always bad. We do come across the odd unicorn property that makes a lot of sense to rent and then flip over onto Airbnb. But those are few and far in between. And so I recommend as well, just really minimizing your risk and maximizing your potential upside, maximizing your consistency by having a good base of management fee properties. Again, if you want to learn how to do that, then just check out the link in the description down below. That's going to walk you through step by step exactly how to get started. Even if you have absolutely no experience, you might have never even hosted on Airbnb, maybe you've never even stayed in an Airbnb before, regardless of where you're at, this training is perfect to help you actually get started and earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb using a really, really great business model. Now, the next thing, my next tip for starting a home-based business, starting your own business, managing this from anywhere, is consistency. You have to stay consistent. Now, this applies to whatever business model you choose, whatever business you get started in. Consistency is always what I tell my students that I work with is the number one factor that's going to determine your success. It's not how much work you put in. It's not, Gary Vaynerchuk, like, let's go 15 hours a day, let's go to work. It's not grind all the time. It's be consistent. I would rather see someone put in 5 hours one day every single week, 5 days a week, and do that for months, rather than see them put in, 15 hours one week and then go and take a 1 week hiatus and then come back for another 5 and then come back the next week and do another 10. Yeah, it might even out to the same number of hours total, but if you're inconsistent with it, then you're really going to be hurting your chances at building up momentum. I've talked in a lot of other videos about the importance of momentum when you're building your business. It's really, really crucial that you're able to be consistent so you can build up momentum and get your results to really take that hockey stick curve much, much sooner than if you put in the same amount of time and energy, but do it in a much more inconsistent way. So tip number 2 is to maintain consistency. I recommend setting a schedule and committing to that schedule and making sure that you do not deviate from it, and set aside at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day, 5 days a week, all throughout the week. If you can do 7, even better, keep it a little bit more consistent. And then really that's going to help to really speed up your time to getting to your goals, whether that's $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever that might be. Consistency, consistency, consistency. That is tip number 2. Now, tip number 3 is going to be to find a really great mentor. No matter what business you're starting, I still do this to this day. When I want to learn something new, there is there are times when trial and error makes sense. The times when trial and error makes sense to go and figure it out and pave the path on your own is when no one has figured it out before you. And there are still some novel problems that people are trying to solve and that I personally am trying to solve in different businesses that I'm involved with. And so when that happens, when you come up to something that no one has ever done before, that you're trying to do for the very first time, then you have no other choice but to learn from trial or error. But those instances are few and farther in between. And if you're just getting started in business, I really strongly would caution you against trying to do something that's never been done before. Good chances are the best business for you to start when you're just getting started is something that's already been done before, and just taking it and using a system, using someone's expertise, leveraging that. We call it standing on the shoulders of giants. You can achieve a lot more that way, a lot more quickly. Once you've got your first business set up, running successfully, you've learned all the ins and outs of it, that is an incredible platform to be able to then go and level up and do the next big thing, the next big thing, the next big thing. It can be a lot of fun. But if you're just wanting to build some additional income, or you're wanting to give yourself some more freedom, you're wanting to get started running your own business for the first time, get more security, all those things we talked about earlier, then you really want to follow a proven system. Get a mentor who you can follow in their footsteps, someone that can show you exactly where those common pitfalls are and make sure that you don't fall into them. Someone that can show you the best way to do something because they've already gone through the iteration of the trial and error. That is literally going to save you months, if not years of your life. Yeah, otherwise you would have wasted just going and trying to reinvent the wheel, and it's going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars in not making these mistakes. And it's going to help make you more money because you're going to do things the right way, and you're going to earn a lot more money, be a lot more profitable, grow your business a lot more quickly and effectively than if you were to go it on your own. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to follow a proven system and get yourself a mentor, a giant whose shoulders that you can stand on. Now, when it comes to Airbnb management, that is what I do. That is what I've been doing for years now. We wrote the book on Airbnb for Dummies, all about Airbnb. I know it like the back of my hand, in and out. We're working with over 400 students now, all over the world, helping them to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. So if this is a business you want to get into, get yourself into that free training link down below. That is going to be a huge gold mine for you of all kinds of valuable information that's going to help you to avoid the pitfalls. It's going to help you to expedite your success, really fast track it, get there as quickly as possible. It's going to make sure that you're profitable, that you're growing quickly, you're not making any of those mistakes, and that you really do it as quickly as possible. That is what I do. That is what I love to do. I would love to work with you and help you. And again, that training linked in the description down below is completely free. I've even developed a whole bunch of tools for this business to make it work a lot more effectively and be even easier for you to be successful at. And I'm going to be giving you some of those tools completely free when you register using the link down below. So I highly recommend that you check that out. It's linked in the description. Have a free training there on how to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb. And again, they're going to show you how to do that without buying, renting, or furnishing any properties, so you're not outlaying any capital. It's an incredible business model. I highly recommend you check out that training linked in the description down below. So I hope this video has been really helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, anything you want to share with me, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video.